Good morning. My name is Johnny. I'm from Nakoro in the Federated States of Micronesia, and today I'm going to share the history. There was two brothers, two sons of a king from Samoa. In that place they call Manua in Samoa. After the king died, the eldest son should be the king, but the younger one wanted to be the king. So they were kind of, you know, talking to each other disappointedly because the oldest son, believed that he should be the king, and the youngest one wanted to take that rights away from him and wanted to be the king. So they agreed that they will fight, not to fight and kill each other, but to wrestle. Whoever the winner is, stay and be the king of Samoa. The loser have to leave Samoa and never return. So what happened? They fought. And when they fought, the younger one lost the fight. Then he has to leave with his wife, his wife's father, and relatives and friends. So they prepared themselves on a canoe called Haurua in Hawaii. The canoe in Hawaii, they name it Haurua. And that's the kind of canoe that they sail from Samoa through all the Pacific, most of the Pacific Island, and finally settle in Nakoro. What happened when they fought, the younger one lose, and he has to leave the island of Samoa. And as they come to they discover a number of islands, but it was not to his satisfaction. He didn't like those islands. So they continued to search. And then sailing for numbers of moons, they call numbers of moon in our version, meaning, it's a long journey, okay? So they came to discover Kapingamarangi, the island of Kapingamarangi. And then Vave, as you look at Kapinga, it seems like he liked the island. He wanted to have that island. He wanted to own it. And so he decided ways in order to take away the rights and to be the powerful person on that island. As they settled there, he tried his best to take away that power, but unsuccessfully. After a couple of moons, he decided that he's a navigator, and the people that came with him should go out to the ocean and continue searching if they could locate some other islands. But he want to stay back in Kapinga because he really want to, own the island of Kapinga. As the group left the island of Kapinga, he stayed behind and he worked a lot of effort in order to take power of that island, but still unsuccessful. And then one day, his friends that sail away to the ocean, they happened to locate Nakoro, and they came to Nakoro. So they have to return back to Kapinga to report to Vave, which is the name of the brother that was lost, the fight. So when they came to Kapinga and they reported to him and said, "Sir, there's an island very close to here, very similar to this, but so beautiful and a lot of food to eat and a lot of fish, but there's no human being on that island." And then Vave was kind of pick up the area, says there's no human being. And he said, "Are you telling me that there's no human being, no people there?" And then the reporter says, "Yes." And he said, "So that's mean that island is mine. By no means, let's go for it." So he ordered that everybody board the Haurua, and they sailed back to Nakoro. As they come toward the island of Nakoro after many moons, he ordered the magician on board, says, "Now, do your thing, okay, to find out what must be done in order for me to take control of this island and be the king of this island. So the magician worked his ways and things that he ought to do, and then finally he gave order. He said, as we come through the channel, Vave, we have to stop and separate the canoe, meaning dismantle, because there were two canoes tied together, one used as the canoe, the other used as a dam. So they untied it, and he ordered Vave, you sail one and lead. Your son will sail the other one to follow you, and then we'll go through the lagoon. And as soon as I call out stop, both canoes have to turn back, completely turn back to the main island, and then sail toward the island separately. Okay? And he continued giving out order to Vave, and he said, as soon as you two landed on the beach, both of you get off of each boat and then walk toward each other. And when you meet each other, you, Vave, work toward inland, and your son walk toward sunset. And then when your son walk toward sunset, and if the ocean touches his knees, he should shout, and you inland mark the boundary. And then the son followed the instruction, the father followed the instruction of the magician. They went and they landed at a place called Manua and Sahui on the island of Nukoro. And they got off of their canoe and walked toward each other by following the instruction. And then when they met in a place called Vave. Okay? And they walked away from each other. One walked toward the ocean where the sunset sets, and one walked toward inland where the sun rises. Okay? And as soon as the ocean touches the son's knees, he shouts, and the father, who was Vave, marked the boundary. And then they came together and they walked toward and marked the boundary on east and west. So that boundary is where we call marae. In all the Polynesian places and islands where there's marae, which is the temple place, and that's what they call the temple place called marae. And then they settle and clean and set up houses. Vave, almost this name can be found in many of the Polynesian islands. And marae is found also in many of the Polynesian islands. And that is the story, briefly, this morning for you. Thank you.